go. I must tell you something now that I have never told anyone before. Never before. Without knowing this, you would not understand anything about me at all. And I realized I must tell someone at last. I wish I had a drink. On the day when I arrived in Auschwitz, it was beautiful. The forsythia was in bloom. But you see, in Warsaw one night that winter, someone had foretold my deaths, and the deaths of my children also, and I was haunted and terrified in a way I have never been before. Sophie's Choice by William Styron. I was not Jewish. I was not in the ghetto or working for the underground, so I could not get caught for that reason. I got caught for a reason which may seem to you very absurd. I was smuggling meat into Warsaw. Oh, it was completely forbidden to possess meat. All of it was commanded to the German army. But I risked this anyway so as to help make well my mother. She was very sick with, how do you say, la consumption, tuberculosis, yes. She had tuberculosis many years before in Krakow, and it went away, but then it come back in Warsaw with these very cold winters and this terrible thing with almost no food to eat, all of it going to the Germans. In fact, she was so sick that everyone thought she was dying. And I thought that if I could get this meat for her, maybe it might improve her condition. So, one Sunday, I go out to the country, and I buy a forbidden ham. Then I come back to the city. I was on the electric train on the way to my home, when all of a sudden the Gestapo stopped the train and ordered everybody outside. I knew I was going to be arrested. I had hid the ham under my dress so that I looked pregnant. This didn't fool them. They'd seen it before. One of them, he had me against the wall, and he stuck his knife into my full stomach and he said, "Can't you say ouch, Liebchen?" They make me under arrest. And they bring me to the Gestapo prison. I was not allowed to go back to the place where I was living. And I never saw my mother again. I learned much later that she died, a couple of months after that. I also learned that they had ambushed a train so as to catch members of the Armia Krajowa, the home army. Not only that, but they had gone to the place where I was living and arrested everybody inside. So my children, Jan and Eva, were at the station when we got there. We managed to stay together on the train that pushed to Auschwitz. You know, we were not in a box car or livestock car, but an old-fashioned carriage with carpets and lavatories. But, oh, it was so hot and there were so many of us packed together. Jan and Eva had to take turns sitting on my lap and the laps of those sitting near us. Jan read his books and Eva had her one-eyed teddy bear. But then the hunger pains began, as well as vomiting, and the carriage became much worse. One old woman died and she just lay there in the aisle, her face smudged by the footprints of people stepping on her. Eva began to cry. Poor thing, she was so hungry, but I had nothing for her, nothing I would do but comfort her. In the end, though, it was Jan who came to the rescue. He read to her and he talked to her in the private language they made up together. And she fell asleep. When we got off the train at Auschwitz, I was certain I was going to die, and both of my children with me. I didn't know. I had no way of knowing. An officer come up to me, an SS doctor. You know, I will never forget the first thing he said to me. The first thing out of his mouth. You're so beautiful, he said. I'd like to get you into bed with me. No class. No finesse. He was drunk. I stared straight ahead. I tried not to move, but he kept on talking to me. I know you're a Polak, but are you also another one of those filthy communists? I should have played dumb. Said, "Nix spreekt Deutsch, I don't speak German." It could have saved the moment. But he was turning away, and I was terrified, and my terror made me unwise. This man could send us to the gas chambers if he wanted. I was so scared that instead of keeping my mouth shut, I said, "I'm not Jewish, and my children, they're not Jewish either. They are racially pure, they speak German. I'm a Christian, a devout Catholic." He turned back to me with his eyebrows arched. He come very close to me. So close I can smell the alcohol on his breath. He say, "So you're not a communist? You're a believer?" "You mein Haupten! I believe in Christ!" What folly I had! I could tell from his manners that everything I was saying was doing me no good. Ava began to cry. The doctor just looked amused. "So, you believe in Christ the Redeemer." And then he mystified me by saying, "Did he not say, 'Suffer the little children to come unto me'?" I had no idea what to say. I was so choked with fear, I could not even meet his gaze. It was so strong. And then he said to me, "You may keep one of your children. Bitte? You may keep one of your children. The other will have to go. Which will you keep?" "You mean I have to choose?" "You're a Polak, not a Yid. That gives you privilege. A choice." I cannot choose! I cannot choose! Shut up. Choose. Choose now, goddammit, or I'll send them both over there! Nein! Nein, I can't. Don't make me choose! Send them both over! Now! Not link! Nein! Nein, wait! Take my baby! Take my little girl! And I was so grateful. So grateful. That at that moment I was so blinded by tears that I could not see Ava's face as they dragged her away, screaming to join the waiting line of the damned.